Well, starting off, start doing photography with Pokemon Snap. Did you ever play the game?
No.
No?
I don't play video games. I'm a boring individual.
This was like Nintendo 64. Anyways, played Pokemon Snap. I got a film camera for a day, and then I didn't take any pictures forever. Got in actually shooting videos, and so I actually cut my teeth on learning light and learning all this stuff in videos because my videos are terrible. They are wretched. I can't believe I've never shown them to you before. They're so bad. Anyways, so then we were shooting. Just before I went to EMT school, I was all the way up there when I was 25. Just before I went to EMT school, I told my brother, because I was making it with my brother and a friend, we can't make videos anymore because I'm going to go to school for 3 months. I'm only going to do photos for the next 3 months, and then we'll go back to doing videos. Because we had just spent 2 weeks working on a video that was so bad, we didn't want to show anybody. Like, no understanding of anything. Like, I was like, yeah, it'll look like this and this and this in the computer, and then I shot it out in broad daylight, and I wanted it to be lit. But I shot it just in overcast skies outside, and it wasn't lit. Imagine that. And the background didn't look right, and everything else was bad. That's the Coke Burn video. Yeah. Still can't show anyone that one yet. It hurts too much. It's still too close. Eventually it'll become funny. Right now it's just like a painful reminder. So we spent 2 weeks on that. That was actually for a competition that we didn't get anywhere in. And then started shooting products.
Okay.
And then
I think I started meeting you at that point.
Yeah, after shooting products for a while, I decided I wanted to shoot people because that's what I preferred more.
Were you shooting products for anyone, like a company or anything?
I did one paid job in products, and it was a terrible.
It was a very quick thing that you went through.
It was like 3 months. It was the shooting the one product for someone else was a terrible experience. No idea, never done anything really professional like that. Essentially, what we did. This is a big failure on this point, might I say. We were paid to shoot this product, but they didn't really know what they wanted. And we didn't know what to get out of them, what they wanted. Did I ever tell you a story? So we brought our photo studio over a year to the owner's garage. And we set up in his bottom floor, in his living room down there, and we set up all of our stuff, which is kind of like if he's art director, which I could totally get. Like, if he was an art director, and if he had his vision, and then you're the photographer, you come in with all your gear, and then he modifies what he wants. Yeah. But they didn't know what they wanted. Yeah. So,
that's always fun.
Yeah, and then so sometimes the husband would be over next to us giving us direction, and then he would leave, and the wife would come over and give an entirely different direction. So we spent like 10 hours in post on that stuff. And several hours shooting. We did actually shoot before then, but they said, no, that's not what we wanted, even though I thought we freaking nailed it. Because what it was, I don't know if they still make this thing, and very nice people, by the way, but it was a disc, a plastic disc that you would roll up and put into your shoe to make it stand up straight, like a boot.
Okay.
So, like, literally, we had no idea what the product is going into the meeting, and it's like, I want you to take a picture of this. And it's a round piece of paper, essentially. Like, make this look cool. And I'm like, how in the freaking world am I going to make a flat disc look cool? I'm not going to play it look cool. Just plain with a little logo on top, just on a plastic disc. That was my product. That was terrible. So I made like $200. And we shot for like 5 hours, for like 4 hours one time. And then we went over to their house a second time and shot for 5 hours there. And then we edited for 10 hours. So, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Making the big bucks. Yeah, I learned in that one I learned this from a friend. If having your contracts for work like that a revision, like you only get 1 or 2 revisions, and they're only within this certain arena, and they could only, you have to nail down what they want beforehand. So that was very important. Anyways, from product, and that's when I got in contact with you, and I'll say this to the camera here. How I did it is I had a website through Squarespace. It's $100 a year. If you want to start, it's so nice to be able to have a website in this day and age for only $100 a year, and it looks decent. Mm-hmm. Kind of looks cookie cutter, but it looks decent. And I emailed 9 wedding photographers in the area saying, I'm willing to work with you for free work, for experience. Here's my website. My website had no people on it at all. All it had was pictures of beer bottles, but I don't even drink, and Tabasco, and deodorant, and a wrench.
And me and Sid, so when we checked out your website, and I was like, he knows how to light, and I said, well, if he knows how to light, then he's good. Like, I'm not worried then. Mm-hmm. So, but
and also back then we only had one flash and a little foam piece for our reflector, so we would literally bounce the flash off the foam piece and get a lot of shots together. Most of those product shots are 5 shots or more put together. Some of the bigger ones are about 12 or 20.
And I think people need to understand this too, is that Tim, so Tim's an individual who wants to do, like, I'm already I can do what I'm doing because my wife works. And so, and these are another thing. And it's like, and Tim works, and, you know, he has a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids. And so Tim's trying to get out of that and into photography. So, I mean, I think you need to know that, the background of that. And where I can be a little lofty. I could do 12 weddings a year, be fine with that. 20, and that's kind of what I want to do. I just want to do 12 weddings a year, and I want to do 12 good weddings a year instead of doing a huge amounts of work, like Brian Brisner or whatever.
Ryan Brenhasser?
Yeah, oh my God, 100 weddings a year. That's insane. So anyways, you know, Tim's driven to do this to get out of what he's doing already, but...
Well, you had to get out of and get into something else, but then also along with that is that with me still being... Because at that time, I had 1 kid when I got in contact with you, but I was still willing to work for free because I had no experience in that area, and I, 9 times out of 10, work for free in something that I have no experience in, and then the next time, I try to get paid. Now with you, we just started hanging out, just became friends, so that's cool on that one. So I did second shoot 6 weddings with you, but that was still just more experience.
Yeah.
And and then I basically started shooting people from there, and so that's something that is like, how do you get people to come in front of your camera? Because this happens. Well, I'll get to that a little bit, but this happens to people all the time. Is that it's hard to get people in front of your camera? They don't want to come, even friends or family. Sometimes they'll come up with excuses so you can't shoot them, which sucks. Because, like, this is really what I really want to do, and I'm trying to give it away for free, and everyone's saying, even for free, it is too expensive. Even for free, you're charging too much. And it's just like, no, I'm not, because I eventually want to charge for this. And that's where, because I started shooting with you, and then I started, shooting at Model Mayhem, which is a little website, modelmayhem.com. And, it's kind of like Facebook for photographers and makeup artists and models. Mm-hmm. Pretty sketchy, but, you know, there are real people and they just gotta find them.
It's pretty popular, actually. Yeah.
It is.
It's pretty popular.
But so, anyways, second shot with you, 5 weddings the first year. Learned I don't want to do weddings, which is a big thing to know. Because sadly, a reality I've at least come to accept is a lot of life is figuring out what you don't want to do. Just is.
And I like weddings just for the sheer, I like feeling uncomfortable. It's weird, but I enjoy feeling uncomfortable. Yeah. And weddings do that to me all the time.
Yeah. But then from that, we start shooting with Model Mayhem models. And here's the thing, Model Mayhem, there's people who say they want to be models, and there are people who just say they want to be photographers. So, like, I'm sure models could come on here and say bad stories about photographers. We had a dropout rate of about 50%. So about 50% of the time that someone would say, yes, I want to shoot with you. We'd set up a date. We'd confirm the day before. We'd go set up everything. They wouldn't show up.
Yeah, and I remember getting calls from you, and he's like, I called Tim, and he's like, well,
they didn't show up.
They didn't show up. I'm like, sorry about that.
Yeah. And this is back when I didn't have the studio, obviously. I was shooting in my...
Don't do that, models.
Yeah.
Stop that.
I was shooting in my grandfather's garage. No, first I was shooting in my grandfather's living room. Which, did I tell you that story?
Yeah.
Shooting in the living room, and I was using a blank wall because I didn't have any background.
They probably thought you were like some nutter. It's like, he lives with his grandpa and he's bringing a model in.
Dude, even before that, one of my first Model Mayhem shoots, we had nothing. We didn't even ask my grandpa if we could use his place yet. We took a black sheet, because that's all we had, and duct tape. And because we love studio shots, me and my brother, we work together a lot. Krause Brothers Photography. But we love studio shots. So we went out in the woods, Bradley Lake Park in Puyallup, and we found the darkest place we could so that our flashes would look like it was in a studio. And we took duct tape, and we taped around a tree our black sheet. But the black sheet...
I seen a picture of that with the... Yeah, you sent me a picture of that.
So
and it was like this...
I'll have to see if I have it still.
Yeah.
But I taped a black sheet to a tree in order to get a black background. Didn't work. Light still came through the back. Had to cut her out in post anyways. But I tried.
You cut her out in post?
Mostly.
I didn't know.
Because it didn't work very well. And then it looked really bad because there was no gradation on the background. It looked like she was just floating. Which I hate that look.
Yeah.
So, and then... so we had a... So then with Model Mayhem, eventually... Yeah, we're always...
No, we're fine.
With Model Mayhem... of course, the concern for us was, or the fear was, most of the people who get a Model Mayhem don't know how to model or don't know how to pose at all. So you're doing all of it. So that is that's a little nerve-wracking, and I was really bad at it. Still I'm not that good. I have like
me and you are very much the same character when it comes to talking to people and modeling. We're kind of uncomfortable in our own shoes when we're shooting people.
I have like 3 or 4 poses. I make the light look really cool, and then that's like it.
Yeah, and so I would always get jealous of Sydney getting good emotion out of people because that's how my wife shoots. She shoots, with emotion. I mean, we would do weddings and I'd see her cry across the room because she's taking pictures. Stuff. No, seriously, it sounds.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm sure she was.
Yeah, and I've been there, but
I've been there.
But I mean, you shoot weddings long enough. You start to understand that it's not about the technicality of the image anymore, and it's that with weddings it's about the emotion. So that's what I think. That's where I'm at this year. And last year I got a bunch of just photos that were, and here's another thing: my portfolios don't show that, and I noticed like a lot of the top 10 wedding photographers and stuff, a lot of their photography, the good ones. Now there's top 10 wedding photographers that suck. Just no one else say it. But I find that there's emotion. They show the pictures of like emotion happening at the wedding. I don't show that.
It's true. You have almost very few crying photos.
Yeah, I don't show that. And I think the reason why is because I'm scared to. Because I don't want to sell that. It's weird. I don't. That's where I'm at.
More
today.
crying photos this year, Jason. Make people cry more.
And
then shoot them in the face.
But
at 11 frames a second.
I guess the other thing is like I'm not in a hurry to be anyone special in the photography industry because, I mean,
you're definitely not in a hurry. Might I say? I'm getting the feeling this year that you're a little more comfortable where you're at, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's fine to be there for a time.
Well, we'll see.
I'm not there.
We'll see about what this year brings, and my price hikes and stuff like that, and changing things, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.